else's story. Try to please everybody else but myself. But some days are going shorter, going on to the ride. Knowing that the sun is rising helps me through the night.
Thank you everyone for joining us today to celebrate the official public opening of Westport Woods Conservation Park. I'm Ross Brand, the Executive Director of the Westport Land Conservation Trust, and this day has been many years in the making. And so many people have made it possible. So many people in this room today. So many others that are not here with us and doing other things, enjoying this beautiful day. First, I would like to acknowledge the Diocese of Fall River, the former owner of this property. It's hard to fathom standing here right now, but this property could have turned into 36 house lots. That would have been an engineered plan. And instead, the diocese shared our vision of conservation, and we were able to create this wonderful park instead. So, to say a few words, I'd like to introduce the Bishop of the Fall River Diocese, His Most Reverend Edgar DeCuna.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. When I arrived here this morning, some people were asking me if I had anything to do with this beautiful day. And although I would love to take credit for it, I think it's Mother Nature saying, thank you for what you've done, and here is my gift back to you. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be with you here today for this official opening of this beautiful park in this beautiful place, and for the opportunity to just give thanks for what this has become for our partnership as the Diocese of Fall River and the Westport Land Conservation Trust, and so many people involved in making this possible. Pope Francis, in his famous encyclical on the environment, Laudato Si, told us that each year sees the disappearance of thousands of plant and animal species, which we will never know, which our children will never see, because they have been lost forever. The great majority become extinct for reasons related to human activity. Because of that, thousands of species will no longer give glory to God by their very existence, nor convey their message to us. We have no such right. Tell Pope Francis. The last annual report on the environment from the United Nations told us that the health of the ecosystems on which we and other species depend is deteriorating more rapidly than ever. And 1 million species are at risk of extinction. So, as we think of all these things, and we remember what Pope Francis told us, quoting him one more time, he said that once we start to think about the kind of world we are leaving to future generations, we look at things differently. We realize that the world is a gift which we have freely received and must share with others. Since the world has been given to us, we can no longer view reality as a purely utilitarian way, in which efficiency and productivity are entirely geared to our individual benefit. We need to think of others and the other generation. And solidarity with them is not optional, but rather a basic question of justice, since the world we have received also belongs to those who will follow us. That is the spirit that we all of us here share. We're not going to be here. Well, looking around here, I see a few faces that won't be here 50 years from now, right? Started with me. But what we're saying is, I'm not just thinking of myself. I'm thinking of those who will come after me. That's what Pope Francis is saying. We have to think of those who will follow us. There are people who don't believe that the environment needs to be protected. There are people who don't care that the environment needs to be protected. There are those who are only think of the now, and as long as I can enjoy it now, I'm not worried about the next generation. If humanity thinks that way, then our environment is not going to survive. And yes, we're not going to destroy it in our generation, but your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will not benefit from what we have. Is that what we want for the next generation? That would have been a selfish attitude, wouldn't it? So by thinking of them and what they're going to benefit is an attitude of generosity that we all share here today. I'm proud that the Diocese of Fall River is partner in this effort, but I'm also proud and thankful to each one of you for your contribution. However small or significant it might have been, you are here because you believe, because you care about the next generation and about the benefits that the environment that our Mother Earth will give to them. Because none of us can survive without the world that God gave us. Thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for the Land Conservation Trust, and I'm happy to be here and celebrate with all of you. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Bishop. You know, iconic projects take so many different people to be a part of it. The diocese was one, and then there are several others, including in Westport. We're very lucky to have elected officials who work very hard to support conservation efforts at a variety of levels. And they helped in the State House to get items through such as the Community Preservation Act and environmental bond funding. Both funding sources help fund this project. And so as we move forward and we think about the number of people who are part of this, we'd like to welcome a couple of folks up to say thank you from the state level. So first I'd like to invite Senator Mike Roderick up to say a few words.
Thank you, Ross. Good morning, everyone. Your Excellency, Bishop Acuna, my colleagues in government, Representative Paul Schmidt and Shauna Schufelt from the Westport Select Board, family, friends, fellow Westporters. It's just so great to be here today as we open Westport Woods Conservation Area. I was saying earlier how I have so many great memories of this project as a young boy. I grew up in Westport and I went to St. George Grammar School, which was part of the Diocese of Fall River, and we would spend every retreat here on this property, whether it was school retreats or pre-confirmation retreats or just opportunities to get out of the classroom and come and enjoy this beautiful piece of property and fall in love with everything that is offered here. And I'm so grateful for for the diocese and for all of you for coming together. And it was a partnership. And this is what happens when people work hard and they work together to make a dream come true. So I am proud of being part of that, and we will continue to do more and better things here in Westport and the South Coast. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Senator. I'd like to invite up our State Representative, Paul Schmidt.
Thank you very much, Ross. And I'm not sure that all of you appreciate how remarkable it is that we here in Westport, little old Westport, have the Senate Chair of Ways and Means. Arguably the most important position in the Senate. Big hand to Michael. Ross, you mentioned earlier what a lot of effort went into this property, and I personally can attest to that because I am, as they say, in a relationship with somebody who worked very hard. Really fabulous, Tina, and all of you. We've talked about the partnership that made this happen, and it's true. This is a remarkable partnership of state, municipality, the trust, many people here, and the diocese. But I just want to underline for you all how important a partner the diocese has been on this. This property is a key development property. As you said, Ross, what, 35, maybe more, building lots here in a key section of Westport. And I think all of you ought to understand how the diocese, led by the bishop, literally bent over backwards to make this happen. And I would submit to you that this property is a property freely given by the diocese. Freely given by the diocese to all of us here in Westport. And I wish you'd join me in a round of applause for the diocese and the bishop.
So quite simply, this project would not have happened without the town of Westport and the Westport voters, who authorized town funding to support this project and supported it through the Community Preservation Act here in town. WLCT worked with many town boards and committees to make this project a reality. I'd like to invite our local Board of Selectmen Chairwoman, Shauna Schufelt, to say a few words.
I'm so excited to get to represent the town of Westport here today. This is such an amazing project, and I'm not sure that Westport really understands the value that the Land Conservation Trust to our community. Ross spends a lot of time in select board meetings trying to get stuff through and the paperwork done and all of that, but it's really, a lot of these projects that are going on around town kind of happen quietly, but they happen because of the Land Trust, and we wouldn't be able to do it without them. So I really want to thank the Land Trust for what you're doing for our community. Funding of this project came from your Westport property tax assessment and the CPA funding that you check off on your property tax bill, or I don't think it's optional, right? You're paying it on your property tax bill. So if you reside in Westport, you paid for this project. This is your project. And I'd like to thank the work of the Community Preservation Committee, who makes sure that we don't lose track of projects like this and that we are really focusing our funding on the places where it can really make a difference. And the Ag Open Space Trust Fund that participates in purchases like this. So It takes a lot of people. I know a lot of volunteers, a lot of private donors came together, but I just want to thank everyone. They probably could use a couple more dollars. I heard they're not quite at their goal. But thank you everybody for making this happen. Thanks for continuing to make this happen with us. We look forward to
The list goes on. So next I would like to acknowledge the many families and friends and foundations that supported this project. This project, like no other, has truly taken a community that has shared it and supported our vision to create a community park. Under the leadership of our board chair, Trip Milliken, and campaign chair, Tina Schmidt, we were able to raise over $3 million to purchase, protect, and continue to create this park. So thank you everyone in this room who has made that happen, and thank you for your leadership. Throughout the last week or so, we continue folks continue to come in and support this effort, and it really warms our hearts and is really able to allow us to continue to create a community park here. So I'd like to introduce Trip to say a few words. Thank you, Ryan.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who worked on this. There were 170 families and individuals who gave, and they're listed on the wall over there. There are boards with the names. They gave $10 to $500,000, but it was a team effort. It was a town effort. There were not-for-profits. There was the town. There was the state. There are charities that worked with this. I want to say thank you to all of you for doing this. I really want to say thank you to Tina Schmidt, the vice chair, for putting this together. We couldn't have done it without Tina. Now, we need to raise $3 million. We've raised $2.9 million. We have 100,000 left, so see Tina on the way out or see Ross, okay? Put your checkbook. Ross, here you go.
Acknowledge our past board chair, Terry White, who's sitting over here as well. There he is. There, Terry. Thank you, Terry. Coming today. So thank you. As Tripp said, we have so many donors, and those donors continue to come. WLCT was the recipient of 2 grants from Bay Coast Bank totaling $200,000. Today we are dedicating the meadow behind the house in the honor of Bay Coast Bank. So you'll see just on that side is the meadow that we're using. As you watch the carriage path, you will see a stone that reads, "This meadow and the flowers and creatures it sustains is named in honor of Bay Coast Bank for its valuable contributions to the protection of Westport's special places." Allow Richard De Almeida to come up and say a few words from Bay Coast.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. As a bank employee, I'm proud that I live in Westport, I work in Westport, but as a bank, we support the community, and we are local, which is a great thing. One of the things that I really am proud of, and I think Bishop Acuna indicated this, is that this particular project is not only does it benefit us now, as the future generations to come, which is huge. So we're very happy to support this and keep plugging away for the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Bay Coast Bank. Finally, I'd like to acknowledge WLCT's volunteers who have worked tirelessly to make this project happen. We have such a great group of people that work here at the Land Trust, that volunteer here, from our board of directors to our committees to our volunteers on the ground, who have invested a major part of the last year or so in creating what you see today. We have more to get done, but the endless amount of items that have been done by the Tuesday Trail team, by volunteers who come into the office and work tirelessly with Pam, our staff who has worked tirelessly. It's just been a labor of love. But our volunteers have planted trees, they've cleared trails, they've built gates that you see out on our front, they've rebuilt stone walls on the front, we've cleared over 3 acres of invasive plant material, folded letters and stuffed envelopes, which is not always the most fun task, but it gets done. And we're so lucky to have your time and expertise. And thank you all again for joining us here today. As the name implies, this is a community park. This is your park, and you put the community in it. It would not have been possible without the support of so many of you. And if you haven't supported this park and you're still interested, there's a table right over there. There will be more details coming out on for the plans of the park. We are continuing to work to renovate the house that you see over here. We'll be creating a children's discovery area, which is right behind me over here, and there's a rendering of what we'll be doing just beyond, next to the kiosk over there. And as Tripp mentioned, we have just a little less than $100,000 left to raise of a little over $3 million. So, now, without further ado, we'd like to cut the ribbon and let everyone explore the park. So to do that, we'd like to get some kids in here to do it, because this is for the future generation. So I don't know if there's any kids in the back here that want to come up, or if we can get some children from outside. Somebody can help me? Brendan, Gene, would you like something? Excellent. All right. So I'd like the crowd to count to 3, and then these wonderful young people right here are going to pull. Oh, we got some more coming in. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get behind the ribbon. Y'all can. They're going to pull that right there, and you can help pull it down from there. All right. So let the crowd help us. We'll start. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And with that, Westport Woods Conservation Park is officially open. There are, yes. There are a number of activities for folks to enjoy here, including some spectacular food in the back of the tent. Simmons Marketplace, as well as Gray's Daily Grind is back there, so make sure you get some food, get something good to eat. There'll be guided tour at noontime and at 1, starting over at the kiosk. And then you can just explore. And if you'd like to catch up with one of us, catch up with one of us. We'd love to hear some more of your thoughts. But thank you very much for everything you've done, and we'll see you soon.